A Como Mai, The Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. I have referred to Marsi Smith as the female Dale Button of Maui stages because, like the venerable Mr. Button, she always gets cast, and whether it is a principal, secondary, or background role, she commits fully to every character she portrays. So, when I heard she was going to be doing a show called Songs from My Closet at ProArts, I was more than intrigued. Then I found out she would be sharing the stage with Maui's most talented, kind, and generous relative newcomer, Aaron Pardini, who would be, quote, finding formal expression, unquote. I was hooked. And let me tell you, I was more than thrilled with the evening of song and dance they put together last Friday at ProArts. What a show! Ms. Smith apparently has a costume shop for her closet and musical tastes that nearly span a century. Mr. Pardini has a set of formal wear few, if any, on Maui possess, and, I dare say, only those who spend a lot of time on the red carpet would have in their wardrobes. The show started off with Ms. Smith strolling onto stage, glass in hand, in an elegant, glittery black sleeveless pantsuit, singing an introspective arrangement of Gretchen Cryer and Nancy Ford's Old Friend, with lyrics by Michael Feinstein. When she sang the most well-known line, "Love is rare, life is strange, nothing lasts, people change," it was done with a sad understanding, resonating with everyone there. Mr. Pardini came on next and entered a spotlight area to Happy Feet, which is what this was all about. The audience loved it. Bewigged and adorned with a stunning silk kimono, Ms. Smith performed Joey Contreras' Love Me Not from the 2021 musical In Pieces. It's an imploring, heartfelt love song. I don't know how Mr. Pardini knew that old feeling, a song introduced by Virginia Varell in 1937 in the film Vogues of 1938 with Warner Baxter and Joan Bennett. But most of his performances were thoroughly grounded in the 30s and 40s. This song is a nostalgia tune that brings back the sound of the big bands. Mr. Pardini showed off his considerable singing chops on this beautiful ballad. Ms. Smith has an encyclopedic knowledge of obscure songs from musical reviews. Appearing in a stylish schoolmarm-esque purple tartan suit with a voguish waterfall skirt, she sang the humorous Love Lost song from Richard Maltby and David Shire's 1976 Manhattan Theater Club musical review, Starting Here, Starting Now, Crossword Puzzle. It was funny, confounding, and entertaining. Next, Mr. Pardini did the inevitable Fred Astaire in top hat, white tie, and tails. Most men cannot tie a bow tie when standing still and staring in the mirror. Mr. Pardini did it while dancing, no mirror, and it was perfect. Most impressive. He performed the legendary dance from the 1935 film Top Hat, composed by Irving Berlin, which features the use of the cane most prominently, and Mr. Pardini added an original acrobatic calisthenic touch you won't see in the film. Comedy is one of Ms. Smith's many strengths, and I guess she has a full bride suit in her keeping as well. She came on to do the great song from Stephen Sondheim's company, Getting Married Today. It is usually performed by three characters: a soprano church choir soloist, Paul, Amy's tenor fiancé, and the character Amy, who is marrying Paul, but she's not. For the soprano, Ms. Smith, who was clutching a huge bouquet, revealed a sock puppet, and she demonstrated her marvelous soprano chest voice. Then she hid the puppet under the bouquet while she launched into Amy's hyper-anguished, tongue-twisting, supersonic plea to cancel the wedding. It was done with pure perfection, and I hope someone produces company so we can see her do it in the play. Sanding is shuffling around in the sand. It's like scratchy soft shoe. And Mr. Pardini, in a red velvet tuxedo, mounted the raised platform and leaped into a box filled with sand to perform a terrific rhythmic dance to Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht's song from the 1928 threepenny opera, Mac the Knife. intermission, Ms. Smith came on in an iridescent number with thigh-high red lace-up boots straight out of Mamma Mia, and she launched into the only pop song of the night, Take a Chance on Me. She stopped it in the middle and revealed this outfit didn't come from her collection. It was Mr. Pardini's. The two finally got together in a dance on the Madonna tune from Dick Tracy, Now I'm Following You. There were lovely moments throughout this number. Coming on in a leopard print mini dress, Ms. Smith was joined by Mr. Pardini to perform the 60s Carson and Foote song Something Stupid, turned into an international hit when Old Blue Eyes and his daughter released it as a single in 1967. Ms. Smith and Mr. Pardini harmonized beautifully, and this was one of the audience's favorites of the night. Then Ms. Smith did an amazing costume transformation on stage in full view of the audience, from the leopard mini dress to a lovely floor-length silky negligee-like evening gown, and gave us a personal, introspective rendition of Stephen Sondheim's Could I Leave You from Follies. The measure of any theater musical artist is Sondheim, and Ms. Smith has the ability and talent to take on any song or role in Sondheim. After Mr. Pardini did some very nice work on Shoeshine Boy, he took on a song made famous by Fanny Brice in the 1921 edition of Ziegfeld Follies, and later sung by Peggy Lee, Billie Holiday, Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, and Whitney Houston, among others. My man is a total devotion to one's lover, despite his rather less than stellar traits. Mr. Pardini's singing of this number was a courageous choice, performed sincerely with dignity and honesty. Mr. Pardini's final dance was I Want to Be Happy, and he pulled out all the stops on this one. His kicks and timing were superb. Ms. Smith closed the show singing the nostalgic World War II hit for both Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, I'll Be Seeing You. It was the perfect conclusion to a great night of song and dance. Vanya Jerome was the music director for the show, and her outstanding trio included Cheryl Lindley on string bass and her son Jacob Jerome on drums, as well as she on keyboards. The lighting by Angelica Angel Juarez gave her the opportunity to demonstrate her creativity with some spectacular effects, beginning with the pre-show lights and all the way through the show. Sound was handled by Sarah Jelly with her usual excellence. Margie Knowles and Michael Tibbett get the credit for being the angels who made this show a reality, and the audience was most grateful. From what I heard from the audience members, this show has legs and could run for a while. Bravo! Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho!